Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is Worldly Wednesday, where we sort of continue on our Distant Worlds game. Probably still got a bit to go on this, actually. I was sort of thinking we've got to be getting close. I actually thought we would have lost it by now, but we are still at 59% out of 60. So there's still 1% that the Gizzureans need to win the game, and we are now trying to peg them back. We're going to be trying to target their economy. Is probably the first thing we actually go with. Hi Mike, how are you going? And Falcons on Twitch. So I've got the Twitch and the YouTube streams running at this stage. Your population, I don't know if we'll be able to impact that one as much. Territory, this is another thing where we're going to have to use raiding fleets, not just raiding fleets, but big fleets to destroy outlying systems, I think. And sort of bomb them, essentially destroy their cities not their cities, but their planets, rather than trying to take things over. It's just going to be way, way, way too expensive to do that. So anyway, but their economy is the thing we have to, I think, really sort of focus on. So, which is going to take a long time. And we're starting at their homeworld, basically, because that's the homeworld is the core of everything. But having said that, they're going to have some big planets by this stage. So why was I focused in here? Why did I focus in this one? I've got the bombardment fleet there. Why was I looking at this? It's the 21st Defence Force. Okay, where are we? Oh, okay, that's right. Yep, okay, so this is actually where I left the game. And I left it right when we got stabbed in the back by the Daoits just when we didn't need them to. And so this is the Daoit Surveillance Oligarchy has rebels against us, our vassal. So they were vassalized, essentially. They were subjugated in the previous war. So our vassal, the Daoit Surveillance Oligarchy, has rebelled against us, declaring independence from our rule. They refuse to pay tribute and have broken away, forging their own independent path. As a result, a state of war now exists between us and the Daoit Surveillance Oligarchy. So this is actually where we're going to see straggly bits left over from them. They haven't been under our subjugation for very long, and we have actually absolutely crushed them. So this is actually, they're not going to be a big threat, but they're just going to be annoying. They're going to be sort of in the way, and we let them keep their home system, so we didn't actually sort of bomb them. This is their home system there, and so we've got like a very, very strong staging point here at the system. And so we've got sort of like just mild defences there, and we've got the 8th Defence Force back through there. What else do we have? The 11th Strike Force, which is building up at the moment. So we've got different forces now sort of under construction. The force that we actually have into here is actually the this is our bombardment fleet, which is, this one's going into the DasTactic system, which is back in through here. So they're on their way, but there is actually a force in here. And we were using this as a refueling point for our faction. So they've actually now taken this from us. That's right. That's what it was. So this was an important staging point on the way to the home system of the DasTactic, of the Gizzureans back in through here. So what we're doing is we've got like big fleets operating inside this region. We have the bombardment fleet on its way to bombard the homeworld of the Gizzureans. We've actually destroyed the initial defences of the Gizzureans, but we now have this new thorn, particularly around Upsilonus, that we now have to go and deal with. What's interesting about this rebellion is that not all of the Daoit planets, so Daoits are sort of like spiders, based. They're sort of large arachnids, and then the Gizzureans are small, sort of like flying bug type units. So they're essentially these are definitely these are winning the game by a long, long way. But at Upsilonus, we do actually have like a whole range of different things that we have established in here. Like we've got like in the previous wars, we've established various mining stations, for example. This is actually where we can get refueling. So we've got like a refueling hub here right inside their homeworld. They won't be able to do much in this particular game. The Daoits, they're sort of going to be struggling, but they have had planets now rebel against them, and this is sort of fairly interesting. There's like a 3 billion population here that has decided that they don't want to be part of the Daoit group anymore, and so they've essentially sort of now just this has now become a independent colony. So I think that's the first one that we've sort of seen that has done this one. There's other worlds like this one here, for example, which has got 1.3 billion Daoits on them, and so they've still got a presence in there, but we have absolutely crushed them. So that's sort of where we are, and so Tenor is saying, by the way, you're playing with the Shakturi enabled. No, I'm not actually. I don't think I am in this one. I think what I've done is I wanted to see if I could actually form a federation, but I'm too much of a pariah in this game to for anyone to form any sort of federation with me. So I'm not going. It's just basically not going to happen. Now the reason that question is important, if we go back into the actual Empire screen, there is, I think it's Empire, or is it under diplomacy? Yeah, it's here. This is the new tab that has come with the Return of the Shakturi game, where you can actually form alliances with close allies, and so I was hoping to do that in this game, but I've never had a chance to actually go and do it. So you can see through there, like you can actually then try to actually that one there. The Artuk oligarchy. That's interesting, actually. I've never been able to form one of these, but they want to join in with us to form an alliance. All right, this is actually something that's actually quite interesting. You can't really do this if you've got the Return of the Shakturi like end game methodology. You don't get to do this during the game, and I had wanted to do this, but if we now we can sort of essentially form an alliance, because the Artuks are on the opposite side of the galaxy, back over here. So they're actually sort of formed over this side, and we have had reasonable relations with them. If we have a bit of a look, you can see that most people won't really like us, angry with us, ferocious with us, for example, but displeased all the way through. But they're pleased with us, and if we have a look and see, like, they're at plus 20 at the moment. I can't really get anyone else to go into this level, to be honest, so this is probably my only real chance of actually forming an alliance. Not that it's going to do anything for me at this stage, but that's an interesting one. We might have a look at that, actually, and I'll just read more of the comments and just sort of see where we go. Thanks for the subscription there, Tenru. Very, very much appreciated. And Tenru is saying, hey, Daz, I found a bug or inconsistency with Galactic Wonders. Oh, okay, what's that? So Galactic Wonders in this game. Was this the anyway? Let me know. So Underscore is saying, I love that you just start streaming without the usual 20 minutes wait, and like some streamers do. Yeah, the countdowns and stuff. Look, to be honest, I don't look. I enjoy doing the streaming. Sometimes, like, if and also I don't actually have like a set time. I stream when I wake up, and that can be any time from like an hour and a half before now to an hour and a half after now, sort of thing. So it's too like, to actually get a specific time is just too much, and but I know a lot of people actually sort of have like countdowns and stuff like that to try to get an audience before they get started. I just get started. So Aristu is saying, what are these strange lines and colours? I've never heard of the game before. It's kind of like Stellaris. I'll speak about that actually, because it's not like Stellaris at all, really. It's and there's big differences between this and Stellaris. It's sort of, this is so I'll talk about that in some depth and then explain how it actually does work. Okay, so Aristu is saying, I'll go now. I just wanted to hop in and since I've never seen the game before. This is This is a simulation game, whereas Stellaris is more like a abstracted board game. This is really, really detailed. Everything is detailed. Even the fronting, the directions that the guns will fire on your ships is important. Things like that. So this is so much deeper than Stellaris, like in the sense of the way that it plays, and it's so much more realistic in the objectives you then got to go and have. So the lines just indicate that there's an empire that has formed across that particular stream, like across that particular line through there. Tenra is saying there's a link to my post in the Steam. It's not a long post. Okay, so and you're saying I played with the Shakturia enabled, the interesting story events and lead up to the formation of a federation. Yeah, so you can do that, or you can form one without it if you play with them turned off. So you can still form the federation. You form your own federation with the alliances tab. But you do that when the Shakturia arrive. Essentially, the empire, the game splits off into two different distinct factions, whereas without them playing, you can actually then form your own, which we might have a look at. I'll just see if I can click on that one. See what happens here. Two specific galactic wonders. If I upgrade an advanced shipyard to a high-speed shipyard, this is a post from Tenru. I replace the first bonus with the second one. If I build both on separate planets, I can have both. Yeah, I've got no idea. Sorry, I can't answer that one. I don't know about that one at all. So that's that's the right spot for it, I guess, to pop it in a chat there. So Tenra is saying that there are downsides with the Federation. You're bound to votes. That means you can't go to war whenever you want. Actually, well, that's a point. Let's not do it just yet. We'll just keep on. Well, in fact, we are sort of now in the final war, really, of the game. So looking back on the chat for YouTube, we've got RGB Red Green Blue saying hi chat. Too much sleepy. Wave cannon already. I'm not sure what you mean with that one. And saying current tech economy. Collider's Empire settings. I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, RGB. Ship designs. Kryptonic is saying Daz, hi and hello from the USA. Hope life is treating you well. Yes, it is. Thank you. Looks like a typical extreme difficulty situation on map. Yeah, it's pretty hard. It's gotten to a situation where I'm not actually playing it on extreme difficulty. So RGB is saying, Distant Worlds 2 is not Stellaris at all. It's sort of the opposite. It's sort of the opposite end of the spectrum, almost. I think you can argue that Galactic Civilizations 4 is probably more board gamey than Stellaris is, but Stellaris is certainly in that category, whereas Distant Worlds is very, very much into the simulation mode. So just different extremes of Space 4X, I guess. So RGB is saying that Distant Worlds 2 ships detailed, Stellaris planets detailed instead with infrastructure and economy. Yep. Third faction. I'm not sure what you mean, RGB. You're going to have to write more. Alternative win condition. Wait 50 years after Shakturia arrive. I don't have the Shakturia enabled, so I purposely didn't enable them. So we could actually look at this, I guess, but it's sort of one of these things. I don't know. That's true. We end up then being sort of like once we start to form a federation or an alliance, we then can't act on our own. We have to then go in with somebody else. It may be better that we maybe try to look at somebody else that we can bring in. But the Artuks are in here. And they're also at war with the Gizzureans, which is one of the reasons that they would be happy with us, I guess. If we have a look at the Artuks, you can see there we've got the trade agreements. Your ambassador out capital increases trust. So we've got sort of different things happening through there. This is what we're sort of seeing with them. The reputation is the big problem we have. That's going to get worse and worse. They've been absolutely crushed by the Gizzureans. Like their war weariness is just crazy. So anyway, we'll just keep that one sort of going along and sort of see how we operate. Do you play with tech tree fully shown? No, I don't. I have it randomized and which is only partially randomized, but it's still randomized, and so I only get to see what's next. So as I'm sort of doing things, I'm not seeing the full the full tree. So the full tree goes on and on and on, but this one here we've just got the next text in line, and then there is randomization turned on as well in the tech tree. We do have capital ships, which I do want to go and get the battle cruisers at some point. We do actually now have, and the reason we went to war when we did was because we got the light cruisers, which for us is a big ship. So that's sort of what we're happening. We're just trying to get corruption under control so we can try to correct our money. Our money situation is not great. So we're sort of trying to get that on our homeworlds. Our home systems are up in here. So this is actually our system, just as an overview of what's going on. The little the little round dots are a private, like these are freighters and things that are sort of running along the extremes of the empire. You can see them running through for other empires as well as they come through our scanning range. Like these are the long range sort of scanners that we've got sort of in different places. We've got a long range scanner in here. I will be wanting to get another long range scanner somewhere in here. In fact, I could use that position there, this red dwarf star. I might do that actually. This is sort of a bit of a nothing location, and if I use this location, it's sort of what that's going to do is I don't think any ships will really go there. So it sort of becomes a like I can just put a monitoring station there, and that will then give me the vision of everything in around here. I think that's actually fairly important. Let's go and do that. So if I go into, I can build a monitoring station here for 11,000 credits. So I'm just going to queue that one up. There's no resources here at all. This is completely just a dead star essentially, so or, a dying star. So I'll just go and throw that one there. There's no value here at all for anyone. There's no resources. So I'm going to go and just queue up the constructors to go and build a station here. We're going to be at war with the Datanui for a long period of time, I think. So anyway, the Daots have rebelled. So we now have to figure out what to do with them. And what have we got left? We've got the 11th Strike Force, which is being built again. So we've got another group that's being built. This was actually built for a specific purpose, and I forget what that was. Back in our home systems, we've got the 2nd Invasion Force, which I don't really need with what we're doing, because we're going to be bombarding everything. So we do actually have, like this is a group of ships with the, these are troop transports with armour on board. I'm probably going to wait until can get like a much larger force. On our homeworld, these are the various forces that we actually have here ready to be picked up for invasions. So we do actually have all of those as well. That's the main place that we're building our landing forces, but we don't really need them at this stage. Now, why are they off? They're off to attack a... Oh, that's right. There's some sort of... We've got a mission here to... one of our missions is to destroy this enemy refueling station. And so there's a Gizzurean station back out through here in the middle of reptilian territory. So we're going to send a force from our home system all the way out to attack the Icorium, this particular station here, which is... Which one is it? It's probably going to be this one here, I would guess. So this is a Gizzurean refueling station, and it's got 97,000 fuel on it, the cargo there, the Caslon fuel. So there's just heaps and heaps of it. So that's actually something where that particular fleet that we have. So we're going to be basically leaving our home system completely undefended. Or not completely, but essentially there's just a smallish force. We do actually just leave it like a small fleet in through here of a small defence fleet. And this just consists of frigates and escorts, so small ships all the way through. We have one large fleet back over through here, the 9th, which actually does have cruisers, light cruisers, destroyers, frigates and escorts in through here as well, along with refuelers, and they're just sitting here to protect against the if these bugs through here start to become aggressive again. You can see that we've crushed these in previous wars as well, and so at this point in time we're just literally sitting here just waiting to see, for when they build back up. At this point in time, they've got they're up to 5 billion population at their homeworld again, and we bombed their homeworld almost to non-existence. But they build extremely quickly. These are a different type of bug. These are sort of like these are the most aggressive of the bug factions, and so they're but we've got them sort of like under control. So the difficulty for us has been that we've actually surrounded ourselves with enemies. Like we've got these are the Boscara, which is sort of like a bug faction that is like extremely aggressive, but we have crushed them in the past, and we've now got we've taken one of the planets that they did actually have at one stage, which is actually a Gizzurean. Look, we've got Gizzureans on that planet. We can see when I hover over that little icon there is just showing the main population, which happens to be Gizzureans, which is fine as long as we've got them under our control. So that we've had that planet for a long time. Is that actually, have we subjugated that planet completely? That's the other thing. Like we did invade this planet. I wanted to have like a point here. So we actually have like a large fleet of ships just sort of sitting around. We have some troops on the ground. We do actually have a planetary administration which gets things down. If we have a quick look at the population, yeah, this is interesting. Like most of the Gizzureans on this planet, we've only subjugated or assimilated 43% of them. It takes a long time with these bug factions to get them assimilated. So, and what are we doing with them? Are we allowing more? This is actually sort of what we're doing through here with the Gizzureans. We're actually trying to resettle them away from this colony. We don't want them here, so we're actively trying to get rid of them. And if I have a look at how is that working for us, I don't know. Like there's transporting migrants from Han 1 to Near 2. Now Near 2 is over here. Why would I move them to Near 2? This is probably just an out of the way place to pop them. If we have a look at the population here, we've got a bit of everyone in through this other side. Gizzureans that are here, we've got 183 million of them on this particular planet, which only 22% of them have assimilated, but we've got so many more. So I don't mind that. I'll keep that happening. Like so, we're actually using. I think we've stopped the bugs from going anywhere. Like on our home system, I think we've actually closed that off in terms of not allowing anyone else except for us. You've just got Wecarus in through there. And any Daoits, Gizzureans we will accept. We don't want that. So any Gizzureans that come here, we don't want them on this world. So I'm just going to push them away. I'll just leave it like that, I think. I can. What I can do with this is I can actually, essentially, do not accept. Do not accept for migration. I might as well just do that actually for these. Even the Artooks, I don't really want them on my home system. So that's sort of what we'll end up having. It sort of essentially means that, like, if I go back through all of these, I'll allow the Ikaru, the Keterovs, the Mortallans I won't allow. Yeah, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. So anyway, that's not that anyone else has actually come to our home system, which is a water planet. So we're playing aquatic. Cantrilla as well is another one of our ice. This is an ice world with Xenoxes. So we've got a lot of Xenox here. Our Wecarus forces have actually sort of built up. We do have 5 million Gizzureans here, which are fully assimilated. If they're fully assimilated, that's not a bad thing. It's just when they're not assimilated that it becomes a drain on our economy. Like Han, are we making money from Han? We probably aren't. It's probably something we actually still. We're losing 4,000 per year from Han because of the lack of assimilation. So if we can assimilate them or remove them, and it's a lot of people a lot of civilians to remove from that particular planet. It's a bit of overkill. Anyway, that's sort of where we are. But Nair is actually a Xenox world that we've controlled for a long period of time. All the others are sort of building up sort of slowly, which is good. So that's group now is going off. I've got the 11th Strike Force is being built up. This is actually a specific design, and if we have a look at the actual design of the ships themselves, these are called Fly Swatter ships, and these have actually got the Sentinel beams. We've got 2 Sentinel beams and then a pulse wave cannon. But the Sentinel beam is the main thing we're going to be using on this particular ship, and these are to take on the Gizzureans and destroy the Gizzurean small craft, which is really going to be that's something we have to sort of try to get in the middle of, and that's at the moment that's sort of where we're building this fleet up to get back into the home systems and then the other systems to take out the fighter craft. that we've sort of been going up against. The fighter craft are the most dangerous things that the Gizzureans have, which I'll talk about when we sort of get there. Anyway, Dayots, do we need to do anything here? If we have a quick look, they've got a small group which is now coming back in. They control this mining station. I would like to get this. We were using this as a refueling point because when they were subjugated, they had to, they had to basically sort of do whatever we said. But now that they've rebelled, this is no longer a refueling point for us. And I sort of don't need it because what we did do when we started the war here, we actually went to this system, and this is the big refueling point inside the home system for the Gizzureans. And so we actually sent a force in to capture this particular mining station. So the first thing we did was to capture this, and what that then allowed us to do is use this as a staging point for everything else that we've got. So we've got the big like the 5th Attack Force, for example, which has taken some damage, and so we're rebuilding some of these that have either taken damage or are sort of floating around in the initial attack. So this is the 5th, and if we have a look there, their home system is the Onohig spaceport, which is too far away. If I make this the home system, if I set that as the home for this particular one, I can then start to automate. At the moment, they're on manual, which means that I have to tell them exactly what to do and what to attack. And so they're going in to attack this particular mining station, or this mining station in here. And so I'm going to slowly sort of try to take over the economy of their home system. This is also like a big attack going in at this point in time. This is is that the 1st or the 3rd? It's the 3rd. The 3rd is actually my biggest fleet. And so this has actually got lots and lots of ships. It's got old pirate ships and things like that in this as well. We've got a general that we had captured. So we've got one of their generals, and we've also got like an admiral on board, which is giving us different benefits. This is the spaceport that we're going up against. You can see there that they've got 11 interceptors and 12 bombers, and so they're actually still in space. But what we did before we attacked, there's something to talk about with this. So this fleet is now going in. They're attacking. This is the Energy spaceport, which is the home spaceport. This is the home world of the Gizzureans. We do actually have also one of that purple guy there is our ambassador, but we're transferring him out. Now he'll transfer out in how long? 36. So he's got 3 years. He may not make it because we're going to be bombarding this world as soon as we possibly can. But what we've got is we've also got we've got our fleets, but we've also when they get under pressure, we're sort of like a bit of a Cthulhu faction, and so we end up having ships like ghost ships spawn. This is actually unique for the Wekaris. And so in this case, we've got the Proud Dominator, which is a ghost ship, and it's essentially now moving off, but it's a ghost-like cruiser, and it has drawn away all of the small craft that we sort of see through here. These are the bombers and things from the spaceport. So they will then return when they after they start to deal with this particular cruiser. So we've drawn them onto the other side of away from here, just because the ghost ship happened to be on this side, which is then opened up. So we're not actually focusing too much on the small craft yet, but that will change as this attack goes in. So we've got a big attack going in there. Another ghost ship back over through here. When you see individual ships around a place, it just means that it's a ghost ship which is sort of operating on its own. There's no other real presence in this world, in this system, other than other developed worlds. Like this one here is a marshy swamp world with 3.6 billion Gizzureans. So we're going to essentially bombard these into non-existence. We've got lots and lots of mining stations around the place. I think that's it for they're the only two that we have in here, but the idea here is for us to completely smash this world here as quickly as we can. What else have we got in through here? These are refueling ships, which are just waiting for waiting to if in case they need to refuel our fleets. So we've got 2 big fleets in this system. So that's probably where we're going to look initially. We've got the 5th in through this. Sorry, this is the 10th. Yes, this is actually going in. We've given it in order to bomb Edigy, which is the homeworld of the Gizzurean. So we're really at the start of this war. All we've done is cleared out the first the first defences, and now we're sort of into it. So I'll read a few more of the comments there. So Invictus saying, "Hi Daz, do you plan on playing regiments on this channel? Would love to hear your opinion on the game." I played it very, very shortly yesterday, just to see, because people have been asking me to play it. And I don't know if I like it, to be honest. Like, it just doesn't feel as polished. I think if I did it, I wouldn't want to play like any length of time at this stage. I just don't find it just doesn't feel anywhere near as intuitive as Broken Arrow, as I played it. And also the thing I do remember now why I didn't actually start playing it was because the units just seem to just move across terrain. Like, it doesn't. They don't really like, they go straight through, the tree models and stuff like that. There's no. I mean, the Broken Arrow does as well, but it just doesn't feel. It just feels worse, and also the user experience for regiments I find awkward. Like, when you're trying to zoom in on a unit, it doesn't latch on. Like in Broken Arrow, you get very, very used to the user experience, whereas. I sort of probably persisted a little bit, but I only played for like 5 minutes and thought, it's not as comfortable as Broken Arrow. But I do want to. Because so many people have been asking, I do want to give it a bit of a go. Hi Naz, how you going? Just going back to a few of the other ones. Hunter Squirrel saying, crush them all. How dare they rebel? And Zaradin saying, bomb all the planets of the Dayuts in the region of Space near you. I'm surprised you stopped last time. They still have got no economy, and we control nearly everything inside their home system. Like, we can now sort of finish off the job to a large degree. Like, we can go in and we're down. This is their home world, I think. Upsilonus 5, I think, is their home world, but they're down to like 500 million people. They've been bombed. This one, they've still got 1.9 billion people there at Upsilonus. They do actually have a resort base there, but there's no real way for them to build anything. So their economy is completely crushed. What have we got here? We've just got a small defence force. So we've got 2 of them here. So we've got this is the 7th Defence Force here on this world, and then we've got this world here where we've got the 8th. So 7th and 8th are actually, no, this is the 4th Attack Force. The 4th is actually a big fleet. We can use this. To so they've got Capture Starwind. These are still on auto. I don't know what Starwind is. If we go and click on that and have a look, this is actually a navigator. So this is actually in that system. So there's actually a Gizzurean explorer ship, and the 4th they're on automatic down through here. Fleet roll defend. They've taken it on themselves to go and try to capture this ship. I'm not interested in that. So I'm going to send the 4th back to essentially try to finish the job in here. What else do we have? We've got a lot of got haulers. We've got light haulers running in through here. This is just all. There's no. Actually, there's a population there. Again, this is the home world. They're down again to half a. Yeah, they've got. There's a settler ship. I don't really want the settler ships. You've got 2 settler ships in through there, so they'll be moving off. Are they still under construction? No, they don't have any passengers. Yeah, neither of them do. I mean, they're really struggling here. This is their homeworld, Upsilonus 2. So we sort of did damage to a few of them. Yeah, they've got. This is their supreme leader. I could actually bomb these planets if I wanted to. or I can just come in and sort of subjugate what they're doing. I think we'll send a fourth in as a like this is not, they're not really geared for bombardment. If we have a quick look, the what we can do with these, like for example these pulse cruisers that we've got, we do actually have the large cannons, and even the small ones, like even medium and small, we still actually have a bombardment ability. And so you can see that when I hover over these cannons, we do 4 bombardment, infrastructure damage, military damage, population, and quality. We sort of, it's just equally spread across the across what we then go and do. But if we have a look at our actual, like our 10th fleet, which is this fleet here, which is now in space, moving down to attack the Gizzurean Homeworld. These frigates that we've got in through here, these are bombard frigates, and these have got the atomic devastators. And so you'll see there that the military aspect is bombed at 30. Like, so we end up doing a lot more, and infrastructure is at 8. So we end up with a lot more destruction of the I guess the strategic elements, and quality of the planet also goes down a long way. Having said that, I do want to sort of destroy the population. So yeah, we could actually use that. We've got the same bombardment ability. With our 4th, I'm going to be able to actually remove their population very, very quickly. It's sort of like this is a brute force attack, but we've got so many of them with these pulse weapons, with these big pulse cannons. So that's definitely something we could actually go and do to sort of take out even. And as was mentioned before, like there's 40 million back in through here at this world, which is under the Daot control, but it's controlled by Mortallans. So we've got Mortallans back in through there. I won't worry about those. I'm surprised they didn't rebel. Are they assimilated? Yeah, they're fully assimilated. Then back over there, there's nothing. So there's only sort of like, and these are, when you see such a small planet, the drain on their economy is fairly substantial. We do actually have the big group in through there. Yeah, I think I'll send the 4th back into their home system and actually start to destroy these planets. Like where I find troops or something, I'll actually just go and take them out. So I'll send the 4th initially in to destroy this particular one. So I'll just go and tell it to go and attack the Rings of Upsilonus Club, so they can sort of destroy that one. Who have we got on board? We do have this is Admiral von Schweinhund, who is actually going in. This is commanding the 4th. So he's giving a lot of very, very good benefits to the actual whole fleet. So anyway, let's go and clear out this particular one. So we'll send the 4th back that way. We'll leave the 7th to defend there, and then we've got the 8th to defend there. The 11th Strike Force is still building up before we then send it into the Gizzureans. So we'll just sort of do a bit of crushing of the Daots while we're here. I would like to get this again at some point, but we'll need to... Actually, while we're doing this, I could send the 7th. A 7th is already now going off to attack Calf 2, and this is now manual. I must have done that one at the end of it. So the Calf 2 mining station, I want this one to be a refueling point for us. So I will just go in and destroy the Daot mining base there. So that mining base allowed us to do this attack, essentially, by having that one where it was. All right, so back into here. This will be I guess, the most interesting of the attacks initially going in. So I'm going to push this into half speed, and we'll just sort of watch what actually happens here. So essentially what we have is we've got all of our different fleets. We've got sort of like large, this is a heavy frigate. We've got the big pirate ships coming back in as well. We've got the destroyers, and we should have the cruisers as well. So everyone is attacking the spaceport. They've got pretty much all of their ships are still there. In fact, if we go back and have another look at this one in through here, I'll just try to get this one so we can sort of watch the small craft as well. Can't sort of get a clean look at this, I don't think, where you guys can sort of see it. I'll just unpause. This one's taking on different things. These guys, there we go. Now that there, so let's have a look and see what's going on here. So it looks a bit confusing with everything that's going on. So we've actually got, like, the small craft are now being assaulted. Like these are medium bombers that are trying to come in against the well, they're supposed to be escorting the spaceport back in through this other side, but this particular ship has not really taken any damage. We have a quick look and see what it's got on board. So it's got 3 sentinel beams, and so we're trying to use these to sort of also get rid of the small craft. So this is actually a ghost version of the ship. So if we got the sentinel multi-beam in the middle there, we've got beams on the starboard and port side as well, and then we've got the pulse cannons across the board. So this is the one ship that we have to try to take out the small craft. And so this little yellow beam that we're seeing is the beam coming from the top there, and also the off on the port side of the ship as it's sort of firing. The on the starboard side, the one that we have doesn't got a target, so it can't fire on them. And so these are targeting the small craft in through here. If we have a look at these, this one here has been hit. Half its shielding has gone down. This is what I mean about it being a simulation type game. This one here, part of its shielding has gone down as these sort of hit. So we need these sentinel beams to take out the small craft. This one here has taken a little bit of a beating as well over time. What's that one there? Yeah, a little bit. So this is just the start of what's going on. In the meantime, our ships here are assaulting this way. What we're seeing through here is we're seeing the sentinel beams have got no, and this again, these yellow things that we see through here are the sentinel beams being fired at different craft. Like, so for example, there's a small craft over here. Like, we've got a tactical interceptor, which is actually now starting to take a bit of a beating with all of the sentinel beams firing at it. We can also use pulse cannons as an intercept weapon. Like if we go, I'm not sure which ships are firing those, but if we go to, for example, one of our small escorts, you can see these have only got pulse wave cannons. They don't actually have any point defense weapons, but there is still the ability to sort of hit small ships, but not very effectively. Essentially, it's quite a difficult thing to do, but some of them are using these pulse cannons to try to hit those. As it sort of all comes in, we also then sort of see that the sentinel beams, I want to be seeing lots and lots of sentinel beams as these attacks do go in. What's that there? It's just, that's a bit of debris from previous attacks. The one's under construction, so they've got ships under construction as we sort of come back in. Back over through here, why are they still firing? Is there something else? There might be another, it's more small craft sort of out and about. Yeah, so there's bombers and things all over the place. By the way, this is the reason we have to do this is because the Gizzureans have got so many. Now we've taken a bit of the shielding down of this particular location. They've now lost 4 of their interceptors, and so they're trying to rebuild them back in the spaceport. Back on the home system, they also have a hive fighter base in through here, which also has 36 fighters. So there's 36 fighters operating from the planet, and then there's also a whole group of them coming. There's another 24 coming from this particular spaceport. So we need to destroy all of these as we sort of come back into the and sort of do the different location there. I'm not sure if it'll then sort of tell us. That's the capacity. I don't know what the actual number is that they've still got in there, but they will be. As we destroy these with the sentinel beams, this will then be the important thing. The pulse weapons should be used against the actual spaceport, so we'll start to sort of see pulse weaponry sort of moving that way. Let's just go on pause again. So if I press space, so these dots here are the pulse weapons that we have, and so we're firing it when we don't have the range. Like if I go back out to here. This one is sort of showing the various ranges of these ships at the back of where we actually are, and so we can actually hover over this one through this other side, and you'll see there that the Sentinel multi-beam defense is blue, and that's what we sort of got with the inner circle. The next one we have is splinter pods, which is sort of like assault pods to be able to then take over ships or bases, and then the large one that we're now just getting into range with is our pulse wave cannons. So the pulse wave cannons go out to here. So they're just getting in range of the actual spaceport. Let's go and watch what happens. Now that little blue dot that just appeared there is actually, if we go back and look at the spaceport here, so they are building up small freighters in here as well. Taking out one more interceptor at this stage. If we have a quick look at the small spaceport. So these have got like lots of armor. They've got an ion bomb, which is what we just saw explode. But this has now been damaged slightly. So we've got a little bit of damage on that one. It's at 95% health. That's the one thing. And one of the armour has now taken a bit of damage as well. The shielding is still coming down, but the shields are still fully operational. And so we can start to see how things work. Everything in the game has got like fields of fire. Different weaponry will be on different areas as well. Actually, it might be that surge blast, maybe what they sort of fired at us. But you can see there the field of fire is actually quite important. So you can, once you sort of know where things are, you can plan your attacks to come in a certain way. But I'm not really worrying about this one. I really want to be taking this out as fast as possible. You can see its shielding is now nearly dropped. Once the shielding goes, we'll then be working on the armour, and then we'll be working on the inner hull. So keep it coming. Yeah, that's Intimidator Surge Blast. Okay, so we've now got different information coming back through. So the Irasi 1 mining station is under attack by a Gravelex. I'll just go and have a quick look and see what that is. So this is back over here. The Gravelex is coming in to attack this. So probably won't survive that. Irasi 1, where's that? Oh, that's miles away. I won't worry about that one. Nothing I can do about this one. If I just go back and just go Shift Q, that's west. Let's go back to the north. So this is essentially, it's way over here. So we've got a mining base, and look, if we lose that mining base in there, it's not going to matter. It's not really important to us. So this is essentially sort of what we've been. I'll just get back to the sort of where we were before with the overall look of things. So that was back over, way over here. Really we really don't need to. I mean, it is a Caslon supply. It would be handy for refueling, but it's not really anything we have to worry about. So I'm just going to dismiss that message. Then we have a incoming fleet detected. Let's just zoom out so we can sort of see where this one is actually operating from. Okay, there we go. Incoming fleet detected. 21st Defence Force has been travelling vector towards the Lawless Challenge. So there'll be a ship in here, which is that it will be targeting. We've got this is a fuel tanker, which is just a general fuel tanker, which is now just going to jump away. So it's been taking fuel from this particular world, and so the Dayut fleet is now moving in to attack that. In the meantime, we'll go back to our attack down on the home system here, back on this particular base, and just watch what actually happens here. So this one is now. We've now dropped the shields completely. Still most of the bombers and interceptors are actually in here at this point in time, and we're seeing a lot of sentinel beam attack onto different things. They can use them against other ships, which I think is what they're doing, but we do actually have some small craft which will now become the focus as well. So in this case, we've now got most of the armour has come down as well. You can see down through there when I hover over this one destroyed. We've got 2 of the defences destroyed. 1 sensor has been destroyed. Actually, that's a point. I just want to make sure they don't have long-range scanners, and this means that we can sort of move in and do surprise attacks. So we have a lot that we can do here. I'll read a comment after we take this one down. I'll just allow this to sort of now just go through. We lost. Oh, we didn't get there fast enough. Well, that's the end of the game, guys. That's the end of the game. We've actually lost the game. We knew we were close. We didn't make it. Oh, wow. What a series. What a series. How long did we play for? 48 minutes. Dang it. Yes, it's Falcons. So we actually ended up losing that. But I thought we were doing pretty damn well, to be honest. Wow, what a series. What a series. That was awesome. Okay. You start saying rest in peace. I'll read a few more of the comments. We'll just go through, and so yeah. Unfortunately, this is the conclusion of the whole game. We've actually lost it in the end. They managed to get their economy to 13%, 13 out of 25. Wow, 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 wow. So we didn't manage to, and the idea here was that we were going to try to crush, and we never got to attack their planet. So technically everything was still building up. So von Schwan is saying we could just ignore the result and keep on going. We could, I guess, but I don't know. Like it's sort of, Yeah, that was pretty damn cool, though. I've got to say, I did actually enjoy that, and I sort of like I do like it was so frantic trying to get to this point where we sort of can challenge them. I don't really want to continue on, when we've lost essentially. But yeah, because I think that's I think that the thinking was right, but just the timing was off. We didn't get there fast enough. So Zaradin saying, at least my name ship survived from the beginning. Yes, it was a good run. It was a really, really good fun session. Of course, I'm going to keep on streaming something. I don't know what I'll stream. But I'm actually happy for this to have a conclusion here. With a loss to our team, the Gizzurean certainly crushed us. We'll have a look and see what actually did happen with everything. So I'll do a bit of a summary, but I'll just read the comments where I got them. Yeah, so where do we go? Hi, Mr. Jazz. Can you transfer the ambassador to one of the attack fleets? Actually, that's a point. I don't know. Actually, that would have been a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. The thing that makes Distant Worlds 2 really hard to follow for me is how messy the galaxy map looks when you don't see your empire being built from scratch and know where everything is. Yes, I try to start off these sessions by explaining where things actually are to a degree, because it does get difficult. The Glorious Fourth with the extraordinary capable Admiral. There we are. Yes, with the von Schweinhund Admiral. So underscore is saying, did I read that right? Was that a ship named after me? Yeah, the Third Fleet had a lot of ships named after different people. Like you must have in the early days actually redeemed a name, I'm guessing. So we did have a lot of ships in that final fleet that was actually doing that attack on that starport. Falcon's saying 60% is too low. Should be like 65. Well, the default for the game is 70. That's the game default. But I played it. I shortened it because I didn't want to have a super long game. I now regret that. I wish I had kept it on 70 rather than the 60% needed for victory. Because I think we would have done well. George is in saying, yeah, it was a good run. Can only transfer to a capital city for some empire. I'm not sure. We can have a look at those sorts of things. Silbercol saying evening. Hi, Silbercol. So told you England. Yeah, they did. Surprising victory by England in the cricket. Invictus saying thanks for the info. It's sort of. So Invictus saying I do like Broken Arrow. I just don't like. Don't have the PC specs for it right now. So looking at things that I can play. Good AI for single player. RGB saying all is needed is suppressed strike craft with quick spaceports destroy capture or planet takeover. So it's like once we blow up the spaceport, that will get rid of all of those strike craft from there. But they do actually have the big one from the planet. So as I was saying, when I play, I adjust that to 70%. Same has happened to me for a few times, but I like the time pressure challenge. Yes, I enjoyed that, I should got to say. It forced me to play the game a very particular way in the end, and I liked that, to be honest. It was, even though we lost, it's the time pressure of trying to go and get there before. And it's funny because they were at 59% a while back. Then the Artooks then started taking worlds from them, and they went back to 58%. And then in the last session I was playing, they went to 59, and now they've gone to 60. So their planets are growing, and this is where their economy has been able to essentially sort of take over. And that was the one thing. They went from 12% to 13% in that short amount of time that we actually had. So congratulations, the Gizzureans. They were the winners of the game, and I'll honour that because that's really what the whole run was about. John was saying, I'm just playing without victory conditions set, so there's no pressure in learning and having fun with the I don't worry about in essence I like having this pressure, but we'll have a bit of a play with that one, and just if I just go and minimise it, I can still keep on playing. I don't have to honour that, but it really is over and done with. So Dapnui Syndicate has achieved victory. Won the game by reaching a victory threshold of 60%. There we go, in through there. The incoming fleet detected. So again, we saw that one. We've just dismissed that one. So I can unpause the game and just keep on destroying things. So that's now been destroyed, for example. That's not going to assist us. Well, actually, yeah, no, that's still 60%. I thought, oh, it's dropped down to 59%, but no, we've this is yeah. So they've been able to get most of their race victory conditions as well. The Gizzureans are a great faction in this game. Like, they're absolutely awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Well, what do we do now? What do we do now? Because I do want to honour this game as a loss. I love this game though. I love playing it. I'm trying to think of what we do at this point in time after this. What I might do, just trying to think. Actually, I might just see if there's. Do we start another game? Do we keep this game running? As in, just keep on sort of playing it, like as in not this game, but start up a completely new game with a new faction, and just do a complete start again. We could certainly do that, and just keep the Worldly Wednesday for Distant Worlds. So you do a Shakturi run. Yeah, we could do that. I could pop that one in there. I actually don't like playing with that on there. I like having my own destiny, to be honest. But Volvanis is also saying a Shakturi run would be cool. Yeah, I'm sort of, yeah, again, personally, I don't like it, having it on, just because I don't like sort of, I guess, constructed endings. Anyway, that's, yeah, and we could adjust the time pressure out a little bit. So new game with a new faction, it will take a bit to get the startup just right. Well, we can do that. So let's go and do that one. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to stop the recording on YouTube and reset up a new start on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to end the stream on YouTube, and then just so I can actually segment that as part of that particular run, and then I'll start a new one on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, bear with me. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of just sort of, what's it called, housework. I'll be about 5 minutes, so actually I might do it on both. I'll stop streaming on both Twitch and YouTube now, and come back and we'll start a new run